was saying about we can focus on some aspects of our past that can get in the way. Our beliefs can get in the way. Our values and our memories can get in the way. But I'd like to be able to offer us all the opportunity to begin to let that go and to begin to change your focus in the most wonderful way. Because when you think about it, let's say, for example, someone had a value on money which they had a lot of fear about, where they think, well, I'm quite close to being in debt. Has anyone had like a thought like that when they just kind of focus on the debt? Yeah? Quite a few people, yeah? Good. Well, not good. Well, so when people have that level of focus, and then focusing on the debt, say the debt's over here, they keep on looking at it, although the future's over here. So no matter what happens, say they get so close to debt that they think, I've got to make some money now. So they make some money, and they kind of get out of debt. And they think, well, I'm okay now. But the debt's still there. And then that money kind of winds down a little bit. And they think, oh, I'm getting close to being in debt again. And they're stuck in debt, and then they kind of get all that fear again, I can't be in debt, I can't be in debt, and they go straight forward again. And they kind of get out of debt. Now to me, I can see why people think that way, because they don't want to be in debt. But I'd like to think there's another way we can focus. Because if you can imagine someone who had that, they're always so close to debt until it's just okay, and then they can float back there. Imagine what if we had the focus on abundance, and we only focused on abundance. Because you're still going to get money if you're focusing on abundance. If you're focusing on what things you need to get, you're not looking back in the past, and you're just going straight towards your goal. I mean, the way I see it is, if you can imagine a car, people usually drive their car, or say in life, say, they're in their car, and they only look in the rearview mirror. Now, how safe would that be if you only looked in the rearview mirror when driving? It wouldn't be at all, would it? But it makes you wonder why people always just look behind them. Because you wouldn't do that in a car, would you? You usually kind of have the small mirror there so you can look behind you to make sure everything's okay. But you have the big screen in front of you where you can see the big picture of where you're actually going. So I think we need to begin to change our level of focus, because anyone who's actually ever achieved anything in success, where it be making massive changes, they've had to have a real keen level of focus. And when you get that focus, then things begin to change. I mean, do you think Martin Luther King was just focusing on only how bad people were being treated? I don't think so. I'd like to think that he was focusing on the big picture, where he wanted to take the people and allow everyone to be aware that everyone is completely equal in every way. So rather than just focusing on the bad stuff, he was actually focusing on where he wanted to allow people's consciousness to grow. And if you think about everyone who has achieved anything, they've always been goal-focused orientated. They're focusing on what they want to get. And I think it's our job to take responsibility to be able to change our level of focus. Because the more we focus on what we want, we're actually sending a signal to our brain to attract it. I'll tell you why. There's a part in the brain called the reticular activating system. And now the reticular activating system is a part of the brain which allows things to go to your consciousness. So has anyone had an experience where they've seen a car they really wanted, they even brought it, and then they see the car everywhere? Anyone have an experience like that? Yeah? But you didn't see it beforehand, did you? It was just outside your awareness. Now the reason being is, there's a part in the brain, the reticular activating system, is when you put your level of focus on something, your brain begins to find it for you. It's that good. It's so good that it actually searches reality, our life, to actually find what's similar to what we're focusing on. So if you do want that new car, and you focus on it, and then you see that car everywhere, it's because you're changing your level of focus. Now here's the key problem. What happens if someone actually focuses all the time on what they don't want? They're sending the signal to the brain, the reticular activating system, to find more of what they don't want. And that's why people are always who go in that kind of downward spiral of, say when they wake up in the morning and something goes wrong, the whole day just goes to rubbish. The whole day just completely goes against them. Purely because they have that one experience, and then they're focusing on the negative. They're focusing on all the bad things that could go wrong. So you have the intelligence of our brain says, yes, you're right. Look, all this rubbish was going on as well. But if we change that focus and actually focus on what you want, you're actually sending a signal, like a neurological signal, to actually find your outcome. You're sending the signals to actually focus on what you want and where you want to go. And when you have that focus, that's when things start to flow with you.